All right, everybody. The man, the myth, the legend. He is back. He is Badger Wild, and we are back again with more Apex Survival, playing around with this interesting little survival game that we've got going on, which has even more new mechanics coming in. So, for those of you that are wondering, I did a little bit of more exploring afterward. I kind of just messed around. I've just been screwing around with the Apex Survival, and I have acquired a base. I've also lost the rover and my survival kit. So until I can get some more silver to make a whole nother survival kit, we're kind of here. Now I've got one um medical component. I don't have a second. And I now also don't have the ability to build or I should say I don't have the ability to restock any of my guns now. So we are now permanently stuck with a MR20 rifle attached to us because we do not have the ability to do much of anything else. And I'm kind of stuck without a jetpack. So this has been kind of interesting. Oh, wait, before I forget, base upgrades. So I've basically found a base, cut through the doors. I'll have to go out and search. Looks like I've got some more things I can get my hands on. I did get an enemy drone, and I've kind of converted it into a makeshift kind of bike. We're kind of using it like that for the moment. Came with a mega assembler, so we got that going. I've got most of the equipment all figured out, and I also got this nice little nifty upgrader, so I can add two more upgrade systems. Reran a whole bunch of new piping. Added a hydration system. Gonna have a survival kit right here.
Fuel
Beds,
critical.
system for making food, which I've actually had a lot more success with food making. Almost had a little bit of problems, but see, we're already making kelp crisps right here, so it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Also, I got food meat. Yeah, plenty of doggos have showed up and gotten shot. So I also have this area here I've been working on, but I need more bulletproof glass. We are going to have to reach a point where I'm going to need a mine at some point. Because I'm running out of equipment to play around with. Let's see. The unknown signal is out there at a pretty good distance. This will sit here. The algae farm will auto make kelp, and it will automatically build everything you need. So what happened was this psycho, along with another one, came out here and began just attacking all of my systems, which I'm planning on tearing this apart because it's kind of pointless to have this thing where it is right now. I am also tearing this apart as well. Let's see, how much bulletproof glass do I have on this? None. They shot through all my bulletproof glass. That sucks. So, yeah, I've got damages to the base. I've got to fix that stuff, install new defensive implements, and figure out ways up to those defensive implements. So, yeah, fun times, fun times. Um, Fortunately, this one turret was still active and it stopped because I think it ran out of ammunition. It was firing so much, but I do need to find some replacements for a lot of the stuff that I have going. The one good thing is this um, has given me an idea for a pretty interesting turbo bike, I guess is what we could call it. The only problem is it requires nuclear power to run, so that's a bummer. That's a bummer. What I need right now is that unknown signal. So we're gonna hop on this thing real quick, and we're gonna fly it over there. We are missing some thrusters, but this thing will get us from point A to point B rather quickly. I've got mushrooms, I've got grain, I've got fruit, I've got veggies, and I got dog meat. So we're doing pretty good. If I could get my hands on some silver, that would be a plus. And there's a freaking rock right over here. Let's just kind of tilt ourselves a bit here. This is how I've kind of been having to work this thing. I tilt it a bit so it'll stop. And I kind of like the big fan blade on here. I just need to come up with a way to make it all work. I want to see if this is silver, because if this is a silver rock right here, which it looks like it's made of gold, probably. That's what we're going to get our hands on, is some gold. That's probably what I'm getting right here, which I could use that.
Fuel critical.
Let's see, what am I looking at here? And that's what I thought. Let's see what we get. Now I've got two massive refineries. While I'm at it, let's go ahead and GPS this coordinate here. We did get some gold. I think we'll throw the stone out, so I don't need that. We're going to GPS this bad boy. New from current position, and we're just going to say this is gold, because we are going to need that at some point. And before any of you ask, no, I don't have a new drone yet. I do have enough equipment to probably make a drone.
Inventory full.
Dang, there's just a lot of frickin' stone. Alright, get out of there. Oh, jeez. I really need to build some type of digger that can come out here and just dig in these things. So we'll take what we can get back. And I have thought, like I said, I am thinking of an idea for this thing here. See, there's a whole lot of food stuff, and it appears that food spawns a lot more than you think. I did hear some people in comment sections on Discord saying that they were having a tough time. I'll let y'all in a little secret. Any food that you forage. Oh, is that the ball? I hate the ball. It's got to run away all the time.
Fuel critical.
Yeah, I know. Fuel critical. Yep, it's the frickin' ball. Stop rotating, you stupid piece of crap. Alright, where's the button? Well, shucks, I ground down the button. Oh well. Today we're salvaging. And we got mushroom spores. So the interesting part about this, as you're surviving in this game, is... Okay, yeah, we can't get any more. We're gonna jump onto this little sky bike that I got going on here, because I am gonna have to modify this thing. So we're gonna fly here. We do know we got a gold mine out here, so eventually I could build a rover miner and come out here and deal with stuff. But you have seeds, but if you pick up food, like, let's just go ahead and do this now, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And we'll come right up here. Yeah, like I said, I need to somehow build a micro rover that can fly better than this. I got the
Fuel
equipment to do it.
critical.
Let's say we walk over here and we harvest these berries up. Oh, whoops. I don't have room apparently. So let's see if I can chuck something out. We'll take this steel, chuck it aside, and then I'll go over here and I'll grab these berries up. And this is what we got. We got fruit. You can actually put the fruit into your inventory, right click, and you can eat it. So anything you forage out in the wild, if you're waiting for food, you can just forage a whole bunch of food and store it back at base. And then you can just simply eat it. So it's not really difficult. I am going to do a more in-depth video on all this as soon as I get more time and energy in on it. Let's power this sucker up and get some speed going. As we go zipping right over here. I do need a flying scout bike, which is going to be necessary to... Okay. Okay, we got that going. Let's try to land this bird. I'm getting a landing pad for all this stuff too. So that's going to be a fun one as well. Trying to make all that work.
Fuel critical.
Hopefully none of that falls apart. Now, my number one problem right now is not food. Because, for one thing, I've been able to handle the dogs pretty well. And I've got a lot of magnesium. My number one problem right now is getting to a point where I can respawn back over here. To do that, we're going to need silver. Can I put the gold in there too? I appear to have taken it. Where'd the gold go? I threw it in there. I didn't take it out. Ah, there's the gold. Why are we not... Oh, basic refinery cannot do gold. Ah, there's the next thing we're going to do. God, I hope it'll do silver. Because that's going to put me in a bit of a pickle if I can't get no silver. If I can't get silver processed. I'll have to go ahead and start grabbing all the equipment I can. It should process silver. I would suppose it process silver. So let's just go ahead and fly around a little bit. Like I said, this thing's a little damaged, but I think I can probably convert it into a more readily capable... Or I could just convert all this down to the hog that I built before. I've still got the blueprint for it. Now, we found one load of stuff. What is... Oh, look, another rock over here. Let's see what this has. Maybe this has our silver. It's got a grayish look to it. It's turning blue. Turned blue. Oh, it turned blue. I'm thinking this is magnesium, I bet. Alright. So, check this out. Frickin' drill. Let's see. Nope, it's cobalt. Which we do need cobalt, so. I've got a nice GPS coordinate for cobalt now. Oh, well. We could have had something else. What's up, Badger? How's it going from Grexion? Great. Drew Brand. Nope. Won't do silver. Yeah, I won't do silver either. So we're going to have to build a larger refinery, which means I may have to take apart the two refineries that I have on top. I'm going to have to find a way to get up there because I don't have any hydrogen capability at the moment. I just don't. Don't ask me how that went down, but... Yeah, I keep forgetting what will do what. I may have misspelled cobalt. No, I didn't. I didn't misspell cobalt. Okay, we got to find some silver because once I do that, I can get my system back up and running, and we can. All I need is two more. Oh, what am I thinking? I need two more first aid kits, and we can build up the first aid station or the respawn shop, whatever you want to call it. That's a little grayish looking. Maybe that'll give me what I want. I do have a few mods on. I do have the compass mod on, which is wildly helpful. This might be what I'm looking for. This may be the silver we need. It's not blue. So maybe I have lucked out, and all we're going to have to do is just
Fuel
somehow
critical.
build nickel. Damn it. This sucks. I got to be careful because also I got wolves on too, so they'll pop up. I've had the advantage of a auto turret taking care of me, but that has been the only thing that's been taking care of me at the moment. All right, we got cobalt, we've got nickel, we've got gold, we got some asteroids. We're gonna have to build something to drive out here and take care of business with. Oh, look, another rock. Let's fly over to that. What is? Oh, two more rocks. We've got two more meteors over here. I wonder what's in those. One of them looks a little blue. Another one doesn't. That's looking like either cobalt or magnesium. If I build a new hog, we're going to have to put, because right now, this one is
Fuel
just
critical.
all I'm using at the moment. Let's see. Yes, cobalt again. So let's do this second time. New from current position. We'll do this. We're getting a lot of cobalt here. Okay, we got some cobalt there. Let me run up this way because I saw another one up here. I don't need to get in the stupid thing to see that. We're going to run up here and see what this is while I sip some Dr. Pepper. Hey, Badger, that drone you're using right now with the saddle is what I based my Stingray drone off of. That you did a review on? Yeah, I noticed that. I was checking it out when I shit, this is silicone. Yeah, so Grexion built a Stingray drone a while back, and I did a review on it. It's actually a really good drone. Really good drone. Just gonna be careful. I don't think there's any. Okay, so we've got a deal on silicone right now. We're just searching our area out looking for resources, just baseline resources. So there should be some cobalt here. I should be able to jump on that. We do have a station, but I don't have any money right now to do anything with it. Yeah, this is basically what your Stingray drone was based on. It's just one of them just wasn't that badly damaged, so I just hauled off and said, "Fuck it, we're gonna turn it into a freaking drone. We're gonna turn it into a ship." Oh, look, another one. This one's a little darker. It might be. Uh, it might be something. I'll get close to it. That might be silver. I hope that's silver. It could be uranium. Either way, I'm gonna need that.
Fuel critical.
It's silicone again. My God. Will Badger ever find a meteor full of... silicone? I think that's how you spell silicone. I don't know and I don't care because I have an American education and it sucks. Drew Burns, sell the cobalt. That's an idea. And it's light and cheap, so it's a good base for any type of drone. Yeah, it's a really good drone. Selling the cobalt, that might be a good idea. I could also sell the gold too. Look around here, make sure I'm not running away from anything that might be useful. We're going to tilt
Ship
this
fuel
forward a bit.
low.
Oh, crap. Ugh. The drone's running out of power. I've got some backup uranium back at base, but I need to just go ahead and just build something more necessary. I think I want to use one of the big fan blades and then come up with something on the back end. But the problem is that's going to require a whole lot of batteries. It's going to require a lot of batteries. I don't see any more asteroids anywhere here. Or meteor impacts. I've got 9 minutes left on this thing before it decides to go kerplunk, and I think it's probably best I get back before it does that.
Ship fuel low.
I think I need to probably expand the base a bit more.
Ship fuel low.
Yes, 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 yes. I know, I know, I know. I'm trying to get this thing over here before it falls. Uranium on planet?
Ship fuel
No,
low.
uranium's not on planet. What I was thinking was that the...
Ship fuel low.
All right, slow it down, you. All right, drop that down there.
Fuel critical.
Yeah, that thing will probably fail at some point. So, no, what I was thinking about with uranium was there's a possibility that we would have uranium. Renegade Bundy, have you looked at my drone? It looks like it would fly similarly to it. Probably will. I'll have to take a look at it. But to Drew Burns' comment there, yeah, there is. Sometimes you can find uranium on the planet. It just has to be in like one of the asteroids, I think. That is something you'll have to have happen. So we're going to tear, number one, we're going to grab all of the chunks off this. Start cutting this thing down to size. And I ain't getting that. Find that sweet spot for it. Okay, never mind. We're just going to grind a whole bunch of parts off here. What is in here? All right, that'll do. Oh, come now. This is annoying. I get a sweet spot right there so I can just grab that.
Inventory full.
Okay, I'll have to... What's that noise? Oh, it's hailing outside. What the fuck? I got struck by ice. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, it's hailing right now. I guess we're going inside. Drop everything off in here and just let everything out there just do its thing. Casualbot, how's it going? Morgan Trial, hi there. Renegade Bundy, probably about the same size, maybe a tad bigger. Yeah, I'll have to look at it. Grexion, do you have meteors on? Because you can get meteors from those once they crash. Oh, really? Huh. I don't think I have meteors on. Got it. So not a reliable fuel source planet side, but you might get lucky every once in a while. Yeah, yeah. Drew Bryan right there is on target right there. It could get lucky. Like the problem I'm running into right now is I need medical components. Like I said, I've got 3. And we've got 1 starting right here. That is really the only thing I need. I need 2 medical components, and this thing is back up and running. I also have a nice little storage area here for seeds, ice, all that good stuff. These things have been awesome because I have to admit, this is the thing. You can get uranium from meteors from Grexion. Yes, yes, you can. That'll be awesome. Yeah, meteors give a small amount of rare minerals like uranium. I need to get a vehicle built. Right now, I can't go outside because the dadgum weather has decided to start pelting me with ice. I got hit with a hailstone a minute ago. And you probably can't see it. But there's actually hailstones out here falling from the sky at the moment. We got another unknown signal coming in. Ugh. So I guess once we get done, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear that down. Just start, or once I get an opportunity to do so, once this hailstorm stops, I will start tearing that down and reconstruct a base right next. So let's go ahead and get into here. Because production, yeah, we got like 6 kelp chips going on right there. We got some kelp crisps. We got some other stuff in here ready to go. It looks like, yes, I've got new buffs. Let's see, we're surviving. Surviving, and we are thriving. My welding speed's gone up to another 10.
Critical.
I could take my VSMH and turn it into a farm/rover storage. It would be a massive farm. Really, I'm gonna have to build something to go scavenge food with, because a small rover with a scooper or a collector hopper on the end of it, if you run that into a plot, like a deal of food, it will just suck it right up. That's what that harvester that I was doing. Apparently that was an official build, so that is an in-game, that is an in-canon build you guys can just grab off the workshop and just go to town with. If you've seen that video, the link to it's in the description. So you just grab that sucker and just go right to town with it. But yeah, we've got the tracks mod. But I think whatever I build next is going to have tracks. Now, this area here had all these little zones in it, but I had to replace some of this, unfortunately, with some stuff. And then I think I tore up, I had some type of deal down there at the bottom. But we're going to have to figure out a way up to the top level without my jetpack. Vehicle storage maintenance hangar. Possibly, I kind of, because of the wolf issue, I kind of want to do some type of elevator. See right here, I can just look out the door and I can see everything. And then we also, the cool thing about this base is, I can fall here. I got this downstairs storage, which I have already started co-opting with this. And I was going to do something here, but I think I'm just going to add another storage box right here on the side. So I have access to that, and that accesses into this thing here. And then I'm just going to line these walls with these little storage containers because they are just amazing. You see, yeah, we got all kinds of goodies right here. We got silicone ore. Frick, yes, I have been needing that. God dang, just now found that. Why has Badger been needing that? Oh, I'm glad you asked, ladies and gentlemen, because Badger needs that stupid ass silicone ore because I can't make any more freaking glass. I know there's a mod that will make ships rust if they are exposed to air on planets, which I think would make the new survival mode even more interesting. Oh, yes, that's what I need. I have to sit there and repair my shit all the time. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. Let me see here. I probably need to build a battery at some point. Wait a minute. I have... Aha. I know what we can do while we're stuck inside. We can go hack a battery. Come with me as we go and steal more of this base. It's not mine, but I just simply took it over. That's what we're doing right now. We're just going to take this thing out there. At the moment, in its current configuration, it can fit 14 aircraft and 8 rovers, vehicle and storage maintenance hangar. Oh, you're building like a big old giant thing. All right, let's rebuild this thing. We're past the hack point. Yes, by building a warfare battery, Badger has unlocked even more power. And the other issue is I've got to put some solar power on this thing at some point, or some type of wind turbine. Okay, let's see what we can do now. I should be able to build some interesting stuff. Oh, come now. We've got new things to build. A refill station. Hold up. Wait a minute. A refill station. The refill station does not require anything crazy. Okay. Fuck it. Let's do that. All right. How do I install? Where am I going to put that? Actually, I hate to do this because I need a survival kit.
Fuel critical.
Oh, yes, I know. Actually, I have a better idea. Let's drop down here. Come on. Let's go down. There we go. Let's see here now. 4.
Energy low.
Wait, let's take a look at the refill station. What's it going to take to put the refill station in? I didn't realize I had that. Let's take a look at how the refill station operates. Okay, do I have... Yes. We have side connectors. Okay, that's what we're going to do. All right, there we go, folks. I am just going to need one more display. Right, a display. That's food processor. Industrial assembler. Where is the display? I have 2 medical components. Oh, no, I don't have 2 medical components. Okay. Okay, it's recharging that, but it's not recharging my Y. H2O2 generator's off. Makes sense. Ah, yes. All right, my H2 He's actually recharged. Ha ha! We have beaten the system. Ladies and gentlemen, we are a true space engineer. Okay. Now the next thing needs to happen. All right. We have we have these two guys up here doing stuff. I've got to figure out where I'm going to mount. This is difficult. Where will we mount? See, we got our little algae farms going on right here. I've got to figure out where I'm going to put the new stuff. We have this turret up here, which I could modify this into a custom turret with twin guns, which would make it twice as deadly. And that would just make it a ruthless addition to the base. These are temporary until I can figure out until I can build some extra stuff. So we've been building up algae chips the whole time. I'm trying to get this to where it'll build a certain amount of algae chips at once. Hop down here and look. Okay, yeah, we've gotten to this area. I need to shut this area off and just start cutting things off here. Let me look over here. So we have a hydrogen tank here. Let me hack this hydrogen tank real fast. Oh, it's going to eat through almost all of my fricking hydrogen. All of my ice is going into this thing. That's unfortunate. I think it's probably off. Okay, so I've got an option here. I almost wonder if I couldn't, because if I look here, I do have a conveyor here that I could use. Let's see, Renegade Bundy. It was building a while ago. Uses only one mod. Drew Byrne. Oh dear, that's terrifying thought. Your reactor has rusted and is now irradiating your base. Oh yeah, that is actually a nightmare. I guess you had to figure out some way of keeping the outside going. Renegade Bundy. I might be able to eliminate that one mob with a piston and a wheel contraption. I'm gonna have to see this thing that Bundy's building, so I'm getting kind of interesting. By the way, Badger, did you know they added a new oxygen farm the same size as the algae farm? Yes, I did. There's 2 new farms like that. And they're about the same size, so. But yeah, I didn't know that they had done that. I think they added a small version of it. Let me see. I think they added a small version of it too. Should have an algae farm on me. Like number 9. No. Let's go down here. So we've got the tracks mod. I've got to do the tracks at some point. So see, did they have a... See, they've got a half farm there. I'm wondering, because I thought I saw... I may be wrong. Watch me find it and I'll be wrong. Yeah, they don't have a half algae farm that for the small. Oh, well. Are those the plaid ones? Yeah, the new oxygen farm of the DLC. Yeah, those things are actually kind of nice. I'm not going to lie. And this is not like the permanent game I'm playing. This is me just screwing around. I wasn't going to buy this one. Maybe someday when they go on sale for $1. Actually, $5 for a DLC is not bad, man. I'm gonna tell you. That's one of them things I could buy that again and again if I had to. Especially for all the cool stuff that comes into the King DLCs. They're just amazing. All the nifty stuff you get. And they say it's not game-changing stuff, but you do end up with some game-changing equipment at times. I mean, just the Willis Ducks adds a whole lot of stuff to it. Grexion, I don't get why some people have the DLC so much. Like, they don't cost that much and are only really expensive if you buy them all at once. Yeah, don't buy them all at once. Just buy like a one every other paycheck, and eventually you'll have all the DLCs. You don't have to buy them all at once. I mean, dear Lord, it's like, what is that? Turns it into $100 game? I mean, frick. I know this is better than AAA, but damn, you don't have to pay AAA price right now. Like I said, it's only $5. It's not something I'd worry about. Okay, let's go ahead and repair some of this. Okay, we've got a small platform here. I'd like to tear this thing apart before it runs out of battery power. I'd also like... I wonder. While Badger sits here and decides he needs to probably eat another kelp chip. Alright, let the food go up a little bit more. Uh-oh. I've heard movement. That's one. Are there any more? Nope, no more. But we're going to get some meat out of this guy. 2 raw meat. There we go. I don't like the idea of shooting the doggos, but the doggos will kill me if I don't kill them, so. Drew Byrne. I have all the others. I think the hate comes from people trying to go back into the game or are new. Grexion, like, that's the main argument I have heard people when using the example explaining why they hate the DLC. Drew Byrne, I don't like that they call it cosmetic because the DLC totally changes how you build, not a one-to-one replacement of existing blocks. Yeah, it doesn't. They don't replace the blocks. They just give you a couple of new options to play around with. Is what happens. Now, what I'm wondering here. All right, we're going to go into G mode here. Because I have yet to set this up. And I think the rover I had outside just ran out of power. Nope. With those there, let's go ahead and drop the meat off while I'm at it. There we go. Well, let's take about 2 of those with us. And I'll eat some of that. And there we go. All right, we're going up in strength and everything. Let's go ahead and just sit down for a minute in the bed. Chill for a moment while I try to figure out what I'm going to do next. So I got plenty of storage. Like the new storage container deal in the cosmetics really helps. Grexion. Some cosmetic version of existing blocks can be a game changer because the conveyor ports are in different locations on the block. Yeah. Like the new survival kit that has the conveyor ports on the top, back, and bottom, which makes this a whole lot different in how you're going to install it into your base. So there are a whole lot of different areas and methods you can do to make that thing work. Okay, let me see here. Yep, the drone is dead. Okay. New question. Is this connected to the base? I must know. No, it is not. No, it is not. That's an entire separate entity right there. Is it? No, wait. I thought it was. That's a half block. All right, let's tear that out. Let's throw in a another block. Badger, wild, can they? All right, let's take a look here. Number 4. Chat, does that look like it's connected to the base? So that means this is all one thing. It must be connected underneath. Interesting. That means I might be able to extend this area out a bit. Let me see what you guys are saying here as I'm seeing this stuff. Drew Byrne, exactly. In most cases, DLC allows you to build more compact ships. Grexion, I would love to see more blocks being locked behind the newsletter. Oh, you're gonna make people mad, dude. That's gonna make some people mad. Oh boy, Drew Byrne, 100% of my ships I have been able to scale down thanks to some DLC blocks. With static grids, even if they are not connected, if they are on the same plane, they can be connected. Okay, so if we've connected this, maybe I have just connected all this together. I hope. No, I'm not connected. I don't know what I connected to, but I am not connected to the base at all. Okay, those are half blocks. That may be why I'm not connected right there. Let me jerk that out. We're going to try one more here. Connect that there. Okay, there's no seam. So yeah, we're connecting. All right, let's just go ahead and connect this right here, right now. Because I just want to connect it and get it over with. I don't have to worry about it later. There we go. Now I can modify this at some point and put some something on here. Now I am going to run into facility issues. I probably, what I should do, is I should have a spotlight out here to watch me so it keeps the light going. That would help a lot. Plus, I can also work on this, just like tear down this outer section and turn this into a bigger platform. That'll help as I start building new stuff to work here. I'm kind of half tempted to build because we need the new refinery in case I find some silver. Frickin' dogs are back. Oh, is there more than one? They just ran off. They know I'm going to shoot one of them. I guess they attacked each other. This is why we have a platform, folks, so we don't have to worry about falling down into that. Go ahead and start cutting some of this apart here. I may actually raise this platform at least a level. That may be better than what I'm doing right now. Actually, yeah, I think we'll raise this platform one level. Because at one level raised than where we are now, I can then hook into the system that we have currently. And I can also turn around and have this as a sort of like a garage platform up here for the things, which would prevent a lot of bull crap from happening. And then on the other side of the base, I can start putting a farm in of some type. Do you remember when the wolves were like cyber hounds and blew up? I was not here for that era, unfortunately. Speclav, yeah. What's up, man? We used to play GTA together a few years back, just turned into the stream. Oh, hey, man, how you doing? Yeah, I remember those old GTA 5 days. Having the So yeah, I was the rich guy of the group. For those who are wondering, I'm not bragging. It was just that's how it went down. I had all the cars, I had all the equipment. When something came out, I had the money to buy it. Cause I think I got close to the billion, almost up to. No, I had like $20 million almost at every time saved up just for everything. And then I would start going down the list of buying stuff. Had a whole garage. Had a Dom Toretto's Charger in there, which was one of the coolest things. Not the up armored Charger. I had the actual one and actually modified it to look like Dom Toretto's Charger back in the day. It was pretty cool. It had the Mustang from Bullet when that thing came out, and a oh, what was the car? The Stingray from Con Air. When what's his name drove the Stingray out there and used it to, they hooked onto it to try and yank the plane, stop the cargo plane, and it didn't work. It jerked the car up in the air and then just dropped it. Yeah, I kind of have this penchant for old 90s and 80s cars in movies. GTA, where you buy property to avoid phone calls all the time. Yeah, yeah. I had all the properties up to the what was it? I had all the properties up to wasn't casino, it wasn't just casino. I had the arcade and everything. Had the Batmobile, the stealth chopper. Now they got stealth jets and everything else. Just go invisible on radar. Stealth chopper was fun though. You'd be flying in that thing, fly right up on top of another player, and they'd turn around and see that thing, and they would just about lose their crap because it's like, yeah, hey, look, an attack helicopter just popped up out of nowhere. All right, gentlemen, we are going to have to wolf hunt for a little bit because I still hear those jokers, or I heard those jokers. Let's sneak around here and see if we can find them. I don't want to drop down because the moment that happens, oh boy, are we in for a fun time. Unfortunately, I don't see him anywhere. Don't know where they went. But yeah, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna raise this platform up just one. Oh no, not there, not there. Yeah, we're gonna raise this platform up to just one and then just expand it from here. And I'll round this back out and expand this thing outward a little bit more. But yeah, man, geez, that takes me back to flying across buildings, dodging NPCs and other players. And then the days where finally got my own what is it? The broom? The witch's broom? Got that stupid thing. That thing was absolutely nuts. And then I figured out you could fun fact, if you use chafe, you can fly up to a missile right before, and if you time it right, you can chafe a guy so he can't lock on. And then you can just chuck a missile right at him, and there's nothing he can really do about it. You just blow him up. Fun stuff. Actually, yeah, I think on the channel I still have the old videos I did on PlayStation where I was playing GTA 5, and I had my character on there doing the mouth movement thing, because you could do that in GTA. And one of the things I did was I showed you could go from nothing to something in just a matter of days, or just a matter of weeks. Because the easiest properties to buy on there was let me think here, was the Motorcycle Club. It was absolutely the easiest property to buy. Okay, we're going to have to get some more steel plates. And I probably need to charge back up. Yeah, I think what we're going to do is we're going to grab, because we have plenty of equipment, we're going to grab what we can. Make some things work and make some things not work. And thinking about it, I kind of want to yank this section out here so I can put my assembler here, because there's enough room here to double jump in. The one caveat to this is I'm going to have to figure out how to enclose it right here. Let's go ahead and fill back up here for a minute. Ah, refill station. That's so nice. That's going to have to go inside of one of the... I don't know why I didn't ever build these. I got to looking at it and I realized, oh, hey, look, I need... I have stuff in here. All right, let's store some stuff here. Let's put some ice over in this thing real quick. And these little containers hold like 4,000 liters. So you can just throw stuff in there and get it all set up. That in accumulation with the barrels, you can do a lot. I mean, a lot with this. We're going to check. What's the barrels got in them? Barrels have nothing. The barrels can actually hold 3,000. These particular barrels can. I think I may just store all the ice in a barrel. Oh, okay. Well, let's slip over here for a minute. I'm just doing little things right now, because right now it's too dangerous to go outside, because I don't know where those stupid wolves are. I know they came over and got into a fight with each other. But other than that, I don't know where they are. So we're just not going to test that. We also have this big cargo crate here. I mean, I could set that cargo crate up sideways, and that would make a pretty interesting... Dude. Oh, wow, that's interesting. A little storage rack right there. And we'll store that right there. And let's go ahead and start welding that up. fun part. We can go to the industrial assembler here, check out build planner. And all that can get built. All components successfully withdrawn. This is where we're going to store all of our ice. Is in this. Let's just shove all that in there. That holds like 10,000. So yeah, we're going to be storing ice in barrels from now on. We're going to store food in these containers here. These barrels are nice. I see myself trying to come up with a way to put these onto like a skimmer like ship that just kind of skims across the wastes and whatnot. I would like to do a per tam survival though. That'd be pretty sick. Now we got that figured out. Let's go ahead and cut this down so I can see what I'm doing there. That may also add another set. Let's see. Okay, yeah, can't add nothing there. Let's flip this up sideways. Yeah, see, that kind of gets in the way. That's defeating the purpose. The problem I have here is I've got this stupid grating in the way that we can't do anything with at the moment. So we could put a cargo crate right there, but that just doesn't seem right. Oh well. So you could add like a small couple of barrels on each end, and that would cover some stuff. Ice in the Barrel sounds like a 2000s band name from Drew Bird. Yeah, it does. From what I heard, GTA 5 is kind of dead due to you needing ID verification to play. Fuck, really? They did that? Oh, man, it did die then. Because the reason I stopped playing was the whole BLM thing. I got on one day and I was like, I played that game religiously. And I got on one day and it said, we are shutting down your game for about an hour so in honor of George Floyd and all this other nonsense. I'm like, yeah, but I'm white. I don't care about that. I don't mean to be mean. I mean, that was just the one thing. I was like, yeah, I know all the facts that I actually watched the videos and everything and saw all the stuff when it came out. And I was like, yeah, I don't really care about that. I just want to get on here and play my game. And the fact that they were getting political, and it just kind of disgusted me so much. They were like, yeah, we can take away your game. And it was the thing that irritated me about it was not that they were doing that. I mean, the joke is, I don't care because I'm white. But the thing that irritated me the most was you had the opportunity as GTA players. I'm quite certain if Rockstar had just went to the community and said, hey, can y'all do something awesome for the whole George Floyd thing and all that nonsense, they would have probably gone in there and done something. Like, we could have had a major parade or some nonsense. Of course, it's GTA 5, so GTA 5 community. So, I mean, somebody would have come in with a jet and bombed the hell out of it. So, I guess I'd be happy we got away with what we got away with. But, anywho, like I said, it was just one of those things where my game got taken away from me because something stupid was happening. And I was at the game because I wanted to get away from that crap. Not because I wanted to live it. And that irritated me more than anything else, I suppose, was the fact that I couldn't. Was the fact that you're in there dealing with it. You go in there to play a game, and it's like, yeah, guess what? We're gonna shut down your game so you can experience this nonsense. And I'm like, I don't want to experience this. I want to play my game. And after that, I got kind of disillusioned from it. And about that time, that was when, right after all the George Floyd stuff started hitting, was when COVID hit. And then when COVID hit, my aunt, who is, she's like taking care of herself financially very well, ends up coming back up to Missouri, and she goes, hey, nephew, I need surgery to keep myself from going blind in one eye. Would you like to spend $2,000 I think it was $2,000, and I get 2 gaming PCs. And I said, well, at first I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to spend 2 grand because what am I going to get? Is gaming PC. And then she started going over like specs and everything of what my PC has now. And at the time, like a NVIDIA 1060 was pretty damn decent. Now it's not. Now it's a fossil. So, as many of you have rightfully pointed out, that's a fossil, Badger. You need an improvement. I'm like, yeah, I know. Trust me, I know. Grexion, yeah, more or less killed the game. Yeah, I bet it does. I've seen a lot of ships using the barrels as ice storage as it keeps it off grid for the rest of the ship, so your ship does not use all of it. Yeah, that works out. Don't know if the ID stuff is for everyone or just in certain countries. LOL, they shut down GTA and told everyone in GTA to go GTA in real life, so that's what happened. Yeah, I have a 360 from 2000, a 3060 from 2010 or 2020 from Renegade Bundy. Drew Bryan was the last one where they shut down GTA and told everyone to go GTA in real life. Yeah, that's what happened. Shit went crazy. Like that was where one person put in one of the discords. No, it was on Twitter, on the GTA's Twitter. They go, oh, so you guys just implemented the riot mod from the riot cheat from San Andreas in real life. I was like, oh hell yeah, here we go. And that was just stupid. Greg, my current PC was built to handle Starfield on high graphics, but once I got my PC, Starfield was more or less dead with bugs. Yeah, yeah, it's just gaming nowadays. I've wanted to do a game. My problem with doing a game is I don't have the experience for it. I wish I did. Dear God, do I want the experience. Okay, we've got containers here. I can build these? Hell yeah, let's build them. Let's see what we can get. All right, how much storage is in this thing? Oh, 15,000. 1,500. That's actually not bad. That's not bad for a tiny little cargo container. I like these big ones, though, because they just look great. They work out real good. So, yeah, I've got these grates in the way. I'm going to have to take them out, shove a battery right there or something, and then do something right in there for that one. Yeah, let's go back out there and get to work on that platform, because we got to get that done. And also, while I'm climbing up this thing, let's go ahead and eat us another chunk of meat, because I just noticed my guy is dying at the moment. Yeah, I've got ideas for games, and I've worked on the concept. I understand the whole thing. Like one of the things I was doing, looking at game design, and the number one rule everyone kept hitting me was watch for scope creep. And for those who don't know what scope creep is, that is where you come up with an idea for your game, and you keep coming up with like crazier and crazier ideas until eventually your game is so massive. We're gonna go ahead and disassemble everything. Just take all that and disassemble it. Some of that is just radio control components. That's just eating up room. But some of that stuff, oh crap, why did I do that? You have what's called scope creep, which is you come up with a good idea for a game, and then as you are working on that, you keep wanting to do more and more stuff. And what inevitably starts happening is as you work on that scope of your game, like the scope of how big your game's going to get just gets way too big. And that's what kills a lot of indie devs. And the game I've been wanting to make, it's not... Do I see any more of them? Where are them damn dogs? They attacked each other and they just basically ran off. I can't see them no more. And they only attack at night. That's the one thing. I've only had dogs attack me at night. So when they come in, and they're smart too. They'll start attacking each other, they'll run low on health, and they'll run off. But like scope creep, like I said, you keep wanting to add stuff to your game, and that's the thing I've been looking at. I've been looking at trying how to make like the first game. They're like, yeah, make a simple game, and what they mean by that, what I've been able to figure out, the fuck is that? Oh, that's an unknown signal like going berserk right now. It's like detonating. It's 42 seconds. So while I talk, we can just watch this thing blow up. We have 42 seconds left before it detonates. So let's kill lights too while we're at it. Just watch that thing out there. You guys can just see it. But yeah, um, my idea for a game was I looked up. I remember this thing. Do like a co-op game where you and your friends can like co-op. But you have a big area and you're doing like a zombie fight, or you're doing something like you're in Vietnam. And instead of it being like, helicopters and tanks and all this nonsense, you're basically a young guy trucking in a war zone or an apocalypse. And what happens is, as you're trucking through there, your vehicle gets damaged or whatnot. That's how the story starts. Your vehicle gets damaged either by Viet Cong or by the one, or like by zombies. They basically like, take it out, or raiders or whatnot. And so what would happen in the game is you would then get picked up by a gun trucking company, and the trucking company bring you in. They start putting you, like, the tutorial is you learning how to up armor a truck. Then while you're out there in the field, you can get more trucks, and you can start just grabbing weapons and things. And it's kind of like in the gun truckers in Vietnam. If y'all ever looked up those guys, that's one of the craziest things America ever did. Was a bunch of 16-year-old, 17-year-old kids are out there. There we go. 16, 17-year-old kids out there, just trucking along, and all of a sudden they started getting attacked. A bunch of them get killed. And so the survivors are like, yeah, F those guys. Sir, we need guns. And they're like, yeah, we're not going to issue guns. And they're like, no, 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 we need guns. We're getting shot up. Either give us guns or we're going to stop operating. And they're like, okay, fine. We'll give you guns, but we're only going to give you guns that are approved. And so the government, basically the government, went in there and said, yeah, we're going to give you guns, but you guys only get some M60 light machine guns to mount on the side. You only get two of them, one for each side of the truck, and that's it. And so they played with those a little bit, and they're nice. M60, a light machine gun mounted to a vehicle is pretty deadly. But then some crazy bastard ended up finding like an M250 caliber out in the field. And he's like, yeah, we're gonna mount this small deuce to the side of it. So then it was like, yeah, we can wait for the asshole to come out of the tree and get shot, or we can just cut the tree down, because the M2, like a 50 caliber, is just gonna start doing real damage. And I think some guy out there, they from what they said, they were like, yeah, if we needed a weapon, we would steal them, acquire them, stuff you'd find out in the field from other truckers who were just not fortunate. They were moving supplies and stuff, like they'd be moving stuff. One of the gun trucks, it was crazy because some of them had like Dillon miniguns mounted to the back of them, like you'd see in the helicopters. You'd have this gun truck with a freaking rotary Gatling cannon, a rotary Gatling gun, and they just turn this thing and just like spray the area with this monster and just vomit ammo. Then some dude stole a deck gun, I think off one of the battleships. And for those who don't know, the deck gun off of a battleship that they stole is basically a twin 50 caliber dual. It's basically two Mod Deuces, and one of them is reconfigured so that it shoots, so all the ammunition spills in between, the spent casing spill in between the guns and down on the floor, and then your ammunition goes in two big old pods on each side. So you sit there and you turn this thing on. When you fire it, it fires either both guns at the same time, or it'll fire them individually. Some jackass got a quad barrel 50 caliber anti-air system. So it was just like one of those little ball turrets that were set upside down. You sit inside of it, and it's got a whole bunch of guns on it, and you sit there and you just turn it and just start mowing things down. 50 cal got a whole lot of options in that. Then some crazy dude got a 25 or 20 millimeter quad Bofors cannon for anti-air capabilities. Mounted that to the like ripped the entire bed off and just mount welded that bastard to the frame. Then another group of guys went out there and they found an M111 Green Dragon, an assault configuration, which has like a Bofors cannon and 250 calibers on each side. And so they just ripped the bed. Again, we ripped the bed down to the frame, tore the tracks and everything, welded everything, brazed everything shut on the aluminum tank, mounted it up onto the chassis of this thing, and just kind of left it there. And that was their gun truck, and they just up armored these gun truck, these half tons and quarter ton pickups that they had, for moving cargo. Later on, in Iraq, they did the same thing. They just mounted just 50s to them. They did it with the Hemet, which was just, which is the natural evolution because the Hemet is just an awesome looking vehicle. That was just crazy shit that would go down. Let's read through some of this stuff. Built mine in 2015, still does what I want, except for Helldivers, but that's everyone's PC right now. Yeah, Helldivers is kind of nuts. Scope creep is brutal, but if you embrace it and almost drive yourself insane, you end up with Stardew Valley. Yes. Yes, my wife played Stardew Valley for a little bit, and she was like, "Yeah, this is way complicated. I need like a," she's like, "I need some kind of little deal to figure things out." If you want to hear a funny story, look up the B-17 bomber, old 666. Yes, I am. I'm currently figuring out a story about two dudes who operate in a cargo ship in space, and they build like a small crew over time. And it is the 666th uh, cargo transport because it is just this super common fucking transport. They built the lore behind it is Toyota and frickin' SpaceX got together and built a frickin' cargo ship.
Energy low.
And the frickin' cargo ship, you end up with what's called the Vincent. And the Vincent is just a really, the way it's designed, it can move large amounts of small cargo. There's like stuff you can move by hand, and it can also move massive containers of cargo. And one of the things that happens is humanity in the future is still not united, no matter what. Because if you know anything about um, dealing with wars and things like that and territory, people are they're gonna join together. We've all seen this happen very recently, in fact. And so what happens is you have countries on Earth, you have countries on Mars. Humanity's like in the infant stages of exploring the galaxy. And because we start colonizing another planet, we get you could say, ire of other groups that are in the area, other ones. And what happens in that is the two main characters, they end up with a ship that has just been going through hell. When they get the ship, it's trashed. And the first, I've mapped out the first story. I just haven't wrote it yet. It is, it starts with them dealing with a pirate. They get the ship, and then they end up almost becoming pirate booty, and then they've got to escape in a downed ship, and it gets wild how they get out of the situation because I've mapped this out, and it's kind of nuts. But in there, afterward, they take the ship, and over time they start working. So it's got like all kinds of flaws. Some dude thought he could upgrade it by adding like a touchscreen artificial intelligence that is the artificial intelligence is shot. So the captain of the ship, who's the pilot and kind of the hero of the story, both of them are like military veterans, and they've gone through like a second, like we've gone through like almost two world wars, but they're like interplanetary wars in which both Earth and Mars have their own countries, and they end up taking sides. So you have fighting on both planets and fights going on in both those wars. The first one, they don't have an effective drive system, so it takes months to get a ship from point to point B. That comes in later. because humanity kind of loses some experimental shit in the first war, and they forget how to make some technology because that gets wild real fast. And that's like a couple hundred years in. And then the second interplanetary war of between humanity is the one that are the main characters have been involved in. And so one of them is a straight up military guy from Mars. The other one, he comes from, he's started a minor colony, and then they all just decide, they watch the colony go down. They watch a lot of their friends and family die, and they're like, okay, yeah, fuck it. We're going to start killing people. They end up becoming one of the most brutal volunteer units in the entire war, who, after like 10 years after the war is over with, there are still countries that are like, fuck it, we want these guys dead because of all the shit they pulled. And so one of the things that those guys would do is they would take this Vincent class because it's just very robust. And a lot of the militaries out there, because there were so many of the Vincents, they started reconfiguring them into military transports, configure them into gun units because the simplistic design of it, and it was so easy to upgrade. And so the two guys in there, they just basically take the ship, and over time it goes from a cargo transport to a freaking hot rod with a shit ton of guns. And they do all kind. They're doing some weird stuff. At one point, there's a fungus that turns people into zombies, but they're highly flammable. There's just one problem, like in The Martian, NASA spacecraft don't like fire. So the main, so like the two main characters are trying to figure out a way to fight off all these fungi zombies that are like coming up because they're also taking over alien species. They make a move to a planet because they're operating with inside of a planetary alien federation. So they run some supplies for them. Like, yeah, we can make some. They offer to pay them in gold. It's like, yeah, we'll take gold. That's yeah, it works. So then they go all the way over there, and they're like, yeah, so a bunch of zombies. The two guys, they end up getting separated at one point, meet up with another chick. And so one guy, he's kind of the technical dude, fixes everything. And so he fashions up a flamethrower and he's kind of fighting his way through. And then the captain, he basically has to, he, guns are kind of useless against these things because they just kind of suck up bullets. They don't feel pain or anything, but they're, like I said, they're highly flammable. And so he ends up fighting his way out with a road flare until he can get his hands on a 12 gauge with some dragon's breath. And then he's really tearing up Jack. And like I said, I've got some ideas. I just haven't gotten them all on paper yet. I'm trying to get the first one figured out while I'm also doing other writings that I got going on at the moment, but just weird crap. They going in there, the most heavily armed B-17 in World War II. Yeah, I know all about 666. I love that bomber. I loved hearing about it. That was the one that Fat Electrician was sitting there, and almost for a year straight, I kept telling him, "Do 666, do old 666, do 666," and I would every comment. There was one from Badger sitting there going, okay, that's cool. Do 666 now." I probably annoyed the hell out of him with that. 'Cause I really wanted that one. Sounds like Firefly crossed with the Expanse. Um, that, but it's like there's a lot more. Like alien species are really, really prominent. So Earth eventually, the way I have it set up is Earth eventually gets involved in a war with another alien species who's technically a little more advanced than we are, but humanity kind of like outmaneuvers them. They basically pull some. They introduce the aliens to tactical fuckery. For those of you that want to know a realistic concept of it, they introduce them to some tactical fuckery, and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna outmaneuver you most of the time." And for the longest time, humanity does. There's also another group of humans who just kind of fuck off into the ether for a while, and they meet up with a whole bunch of other aliens. I haven't figured out how this group's going to go, but they're basically their main state of power is we have an entire army of highly advanced warships in a militaristic group. And while we can do that, all our soldiers have exoskeletal armor, they have the best weaponry, they have the best equipment, and at some point in time, these guys basically get into a fight way earlier in. They get into a fight with this alien federation, which has a whole lot who are powerful in their own right, and they think they can just rickroll everyone and just kind of force everyone into their little clique. And then they run into these other dudes whose name in English or any human language roughly translates into Crusader. And these alien Crusaders just basically start bodying and beat the crap out of the Federation so badly that they end up having to sue for peace just to get them to stop. And it takes a while to get them to stop. And so every time every so often there's a confrontation where the Crusader faction and the aliens and the Alien Federation all kind of come toe to toe, and they try to bluff their way through, and the Crusaders like, yeah, get the fuck out of here before we really go buck wild on your asses, basically. And they're like, yeah, okay, all right, we're leaving. The alien species the other aliens have to like F off because it's like, oh god, this is gonna get bad. Unique family account. Hello. Haven't seen you on here. That's interesting. It's not a lot of. It's kind of Firefly. There's some unique things that go on. Like one thing, the engineer guy is an absolute genius. Him and the captain kind of get into it every so often. Another thing also is they paint the entire ship red and black at one point. Holy shit, do I have electricity? Do I have lightning turned on? So I just heard thunder. Oh, I hope I don't have lightning turned on. Dear Lord, what is that going to break? Let's go see if I have any more kelp chips. Unique family account. I'm drinking lime juice. Nice. Well, I've got some kelp chips. I don't have to do a whole lot here. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, family account, this is Space Engineers. It's basically Minecraft for the adult. And everything you see on this, let me just go ahead here and pull back so you can see what I'm looking at here. Everything on this base is a block you can build. You basically drop down a wireframe. You can see the wireframes over on the right. And as I build the wireframes, I have to go get components and weld them together. And it makes everything all go together real nice. But like I was saying, the way the whole story is going, I've got the first story figured out. They're not going to be long stories. They're just going to be kind of to the point. Yeah, this is what's happening, and will our two heroes get out of this alive? Kind of nonsense. But like I said, the Crusaders are kind of like, they kind of get, friendly with humanity for a little bit. And there's some caveats that go into that. And there's also, let me see here. There's also a small conspiracy going on with the whole Federation. I'm not going to go into too much detail on that. But like I said, the two main characters who operate, it's kind of the two of them coming from their point of view. So in one of the things that I'm doing with it, LOL, my Drew Byrne, LOL, my wife calls it computer Legos. Just plain lime juice out of the bottle from Unique Family account, LOL. I subbed a while ago. I don't know when. Just know you are on my sub list, and I have played before. I know. Okay. So yeah, I usually do that so I can tell people what's going on, because sometimes I have people come in the chat and they're like, "What is this game?" And so now I've just kind of gotten accustomed to just explaining what Space Engineers is. But yeah, this is if you know what it is. For those that are going to be watching later and you're like, "What is this?" and you just happen to find it, yeah, Space Engineers is everything here is a block. Okay, it's all a block. This half-graded catwalk is a block that takes up a space, and if you put them together a certain way, you can Lego fashion yourself a unique little base. This base here had this going down, but I cut this section here out so I could add upgrades eventually. So I could add yield mods and things of that nature. And yeah, that works out there. Let's see, do I have any more steel plate? Do I have any steel plate? I do have steel plate. We're going to take all that. We're going to take all that steel plate down through here. And I have a hydrogen bottle now. Awesome. Thank you very much. Now all I need to do is figure out how to get... Oh, let me think here. I need to figure out how to put... I've got all this fog going on here. Is it nighttime or is it not? I do not know. I do not know. I think I'm going to put this all, either this or, how was I going to do that? What did I take off? Oh yeah, I took stuff off here. I was just going to build that section back. That's what I was going to do. But yeah, this is this game that I saw, and I've said this before. I've seen Aaron from Last Den Gamers play it. That was when he did the first one with the Henry. Those of y'all that remember the Henry ship, so much fun. And then I watched that go down, and I was like, I want to play this game, but I don't know how to get it. And then eventually, like I said, I got a chance to buy a PC before I really knew anything about PC gaming, and had some great fun with it so far. And the rest is history, because this has become a great little time waster. And at the time I started my channel on a PlayStation. For those of you that are wondering, that was a PlayStation I started my first channel on. All right, there goes the unknown signal. I think what I'm going to do, we're going to shove this all the way to the end here. We're going to build a platform out and drop a whole nother bottom to this. And then what I'm going to do is, in the middle of this thing, I may put some type of elevator system that elevates it up. I don't have to worry about stuff. Right over there, though. 3.4 kilometers. I would love to run and get that right now, but we're going to wait, because that's not going to help me running and getting that right now. All right, let's go ahead and increase the size of this thing, because I do want this to be a little bit bigger. Now, the major problem here is, and many of y'all will notice this, I'm not mining. And we're going to have to get some mining capability at some point. The problems. There we go. And like that. Put another one over here. And then we'll just weld all that up. I'm going to have to go out at some point. And get some mining done. What I need to do is I need to put some type of small connector with a sorter. Yeah, see, that's going to be interesting. So yeah, we'll have this big platform, and then I can just put my stuff up here and it'll all work out when I get done. Let's see, I can run through here some stuff. Rexion, by the way, Badger, I tested some of my warships in a survival setting with creative tools on just to see power consumption, and I was surprised that my Visby class Corvette you did a review on
Energy
could
low.
leave Earth gravity with its hydrogen engine on, and only went from 94% hydrogen capacity to 72% once I got out of Earth gravity. You probably could make that go even more efficient by implementing a pulse drive. And what that means is just get yourself to like a 50% run and set up a system that when you go below a certain speed, that the ship's engine will turn on, and it will be really hard on the ship to reach that speed when you get going. But what will happen is, as you hit that full speed, just have like two event controllers. One that says we're going to turn this on once the ship gets below like 75% of its normal speed. So 75 meters per second, it's going to activate the engine again, and then say once it goes past 99% or 99 meters per second, the engine turns off and doesn't turn back on until it gets below 75 meters per second, and then your ship will just pulse, and you'll kind of just pulse your ship off, and it'd be a pretty cool way. You could do that with a subgrid in there and just set in a control block system with a subgrid, and then boom, you're out of here. And that will get you to space. It gets you there a lot more efficiently. I'll have to do a video on that showing off the pulse engine concept. Speaking of SE YouTubers, I prefer watching Captain Jack over Last Stand Gamers, as from my experience, Last Stand Gamers community is kind of toxic. I've heard that. I'm not gonna lie, I've heard that. I've heard that plenty of times. They're pretty toxic. Yeah. I don't know. I've heard it. I've never actually experienced it. So I am open to be proven wrong. Here's another thing. What's my battery power at? 'Cause that's another thing I've got to worry about while I'm up here. It's my batteries. Let me see. Do I have we don't have nuclear power. I know that. So how's this thing running? Huh. So it's got max power. Stored power is like 37 point. No. 2.68 megawatts. We're not pulling a whole lot of power right now. Do probably need to put, or Badger probably need to put in some type of solar panel at some point. This is one of those moments where it's like, yeah, I've got issues, but I don't know which one to do, and I'm kind of reaching the point where I'm fixing to go to bed. I don't know what I'm gonna do next. But I do want to do. I am trying to get together with Gomer. Me and him been talking. I would like to. We're trying to get another server up and running because he basically knows how to do the server better than I do. And I'm like, yeah, we're gonna back off and let the professional figure up the server where I don't know what I'm talking about. I think what I'm gonna do though, Lunar Colony had something. Let's see if I can find it here. It was a small. I did a review on it. If I don't do a tank or something with tracks, what we could do, because I think I have all the equipment to do this. See, we do have the hog. I could build the hog, and they could fly me everywhere. There's also the salamander. What else could? Where is it? Where is it? There's a. Sometimes I'll pull stuff out of the system just so I can mess around with it and see how it's built. So you see a lot of this stuff in here. Let's see. Where is... It is not here.
Energy
Could build a Vol. I could build an ATV. That'd be fun. Just do like an ATV or something. Drive it around. Yes, Grexion. I also have your tank here. I have yet to get down in there and fuck around with it. See if I can figure out how to... See if I can figure out all the stuff on it and do a video on it. That's just... I've got stuff on here that I have pulled out over my short time of doing this and still haven't gotten all of it figured out yet. There's several ATVs on here. We could pull one of those. Where is that stupid little flying car? My character's hungry. Where's the flying car? I have a crop harvester. I need to build one of those while I'm at it so I can harvest stuff. Where are you? Oh, where is it at? It was a small... I've got to be coming up on it. This thing here was actually kind of interesting. I don't know if it uses... I don't know if I did a video on that or not. I'll have to look. I don't think I did. There was a reason I didn't do it, I think. All right, go through here, here, here. Dear God, where is this thing at? I know it's here. I had it before. Well, that'd be a nice rover. And where are you? This is annoying when I can't find what I'm looking for. I don't know what it is, so I can't do a quick search on it. It's a flying car, I know that. I just can't do a quick search on the stupid thing. Where is it? Where are you? About to reach the end here. Don't tell me it's all the way down here at the bottom. Come on. I bet I ain't got it. I bet I ain't got it. Ah, here it is. Sky car. Should have known better. Yeah, so I could build this. And then it's just adding on a little deal to let it fly around with. And we can fly this thing around. What I have to do is I probably have to modify it with a series of hinges to let it do some stuff. Speaking of Captain Jack, I've got a couple of his ships on here too. I'll just play around with. Oh, this would be interesting to build. Strider speed bike. That'd be fun to take over the hills and everything. But yeah. Wow, let me see. My character is about to die of hunger. Or another kelp chip. Also,
No
the energy is basically run down, so I can just go and lay down. I think I'm going to lay down because it's getting almost to 12. I need to get to bed. So I got to be... My brother-in-law lost his father, and the differences we have had over the years, we don't have the best of relationships. But I am still been asked to be a pallbearer, so I was like, yeah, don't worry about it. I got to, do those fun things. So I got to get up early tomorrow for a funeral. So it's getting to be that age where more people I know are dying. Or, well, no, I'm not that age yet. But I'm at the age where more of the people that are adults that were older than me and wiser than me are now leaving, if you understand what I'm saying. Let me see, I'll read a few more of these here. These programming blocks with Pam when mining, yes. Drew Byrne, yes. As soon as I can get a miner figured out, that is the first thing I'm doing. Erexion, I mean, I could, but you can also do that manually. Yeah, you can. You don't have to do a pulse engine. You can do all vertical thrusters and override up and down. Thrust override up, down with event controllers. Yeah, you can do that. Grexion, I mean, I have shared some of my creations in Last Stand Gamers Discord, and every time I've had my ships called small or weak for the class I have given them. By the way, Badger, have you ever revived some of... I think that's revived some of my faction stuff. Why not do a faction review where you look at everything my faction is currently using? I could do that. In fact, I kind of came up with an idea for a video at some point. If I could, like, things are starting to calm down since moving, because it's always a month or two. I've moved 3 times in my life. Every time you move, for those of you that never moved, okay, here's what you need to do: plan out for about a month to a month and a half of just pure chaos. Have money set back for that time. You're going to have expenditures. You're going to have bullshit happen. When it's all said and done, you will finally sit back and go, oh, wait, okay. It'll be like a month or two before everything. So yeah, like everything, we moved in, what was it? June? I think it was January. No, July. We moved, I think. And it's now September. Things are just now starting to calm down. But I remember sitting there with my wife. I said, one thing I would love to do. She goes, what? I said, I'd love to do a faction video. She goes, yeah. I said, And I want to do a faction video and just have somebody come in, like the guy that's built the faction, come in and just start explaining the ships. Because that's the thing. I can only speculate so far on a ship by looking at it. Because I can't, when I do my videos, I don't have a lot of time with work. If I could, I'd tear the whole ship apart and see how it works. I don't have the ability to do that all the time. So having someone come in who does like a long faction review of all their ships and everything and just explains how these ships will operate. Like, it won't be a review where we go inside. It'll just be like, here's the classes that's currently there. We'll do like a ground based variant and then do a space based, do Navy and then Army, I guess is what you could do. And then go in there and do that. I misspelled. It's supposed to be reviewed. It's okay. I do that too. Sometimes, sometimes I put the right word in there and then spell check comes back and says, "Hey, would you like to use this?" And that has ended up with some crap that could be offensive. And I have to watch my text messages sometimes because I sit there and punch some stuff in, and then uh, you punch in something else, and then the freaking N word shows up for just randomly out of nowhere. And it's like, I didn't do that. I was saying something else. I had a completely different letter, and it goes, "Yeah, would you like to insult every black person on the planet?" It's like, no, Clippy, this is not what I want to do right now. I don't think that would be helpful. It only worked for Peter Griffin. So yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah, I think that would be a pretty cool thing to do. Uh, just finding factions like just the Discord popping up like all the factions they got, and then just like hopping into like one of y'all's games and just going through the faction. Then you guys could like drop in your own space stations and stuff like that. It's one thing Grexion's got going. I've seen like he's got his own space station going. He's got some stuff. Like I have yet to build a space station of my own. And mostly my building problems is I either get too hung up on survival mode or I just don't have time to build. Like right now, the Tuesday live stream is me forcing myself to sit down and build something because I don't have time to build half the time. And if I don't, I'll just neglect the game and I'll forget how to do stuff and I'll have to go back in and relearn it. That's part of the problem there. But yeah, it would be something I could do. Just bring in like an entire group of ships. And then I've wanted to rebuild a couple of ships from Star Wars. Like do a do a build. I know there's a mod that makes the X-Wing and TIE fighters look like like their actual in-game use, not like the block system that we use. But what I would like to do is build a X-Wing based on the current system we have now, and then build a TIE fighter and TIE interceptors and TIE defender based on that, and then just use the mods, and then run like a mission with y'all at some point. I'm thinking about doing like special event stuff for people who become members because that would be really fun. I've got to figure out how to do a big old giant zombie thing because October's coming up. We got to figure out some kind of horror thing where get a couple people, get like 6 people in and just go ham fist against some type of enemy or something. Do some zombies and have them come in and do that. I built Star Wars stuff like a speeder bike and a TIE fighter. Yeah, I was wanting Grexion to use. I was actually going to say that. I was going to say take like the TIE fighter that Grexion did because me and him he was showing it off to me and I was looking at it thinking, dude, you could shove an AI in this thing and have it do defensive runs while the other players are trying to outrun them and have several of those TIE fighters coming at you. The only thing is the A-Wing is going to be an absolute goddamn nightmare. So we're going to need just a few of. I may be flying an A-Wing because of how fast it is. Then everyone else can get like a Y-Wing and an X-Wing so they can do bombing runs and whatnot. And then we can like blow up a Star Destroyer or blow up some type of hydrogen storage or some nonsense like that. I've been retrofitting ships like crazy lately, mostly from restarting an old save. Yeah, that's the thing. I kind of want to do Frostbite, the Frostbite scenario, because I attempted it once before, and then I got off of it because it was really difficult for one guy to do. And then while I was doing that, we got all these new tools and everything. So I went back into Frostbite recently and got to looking, and we have all these new tools. So we can do the Frostbite mission with frickin' cannons. and railguns, if I could find the materials out there to make a railgun with. And then when the enemy comes, because one of the things I noticed about the frostbite scenario is you're sitting on top of a giant plate of magnesium. So you can build a whole bunch of ammunition. Just walk out there with autocannon turrets and also just build a bunch of turrets and just go in there with a couple of assault cannon turrets and just start wailing on everything that tries to get too close to the base. And just watch as the drones just get annihilated. It's like, yeah, we're gonna survive this. Drones come in. Yes, we brought rocket launchers and machine gun. What the fuck is that twin-barreled thing down there? And we're like, yeah, bitch, prepare to. And okay, Borg Queen, meet 105 millimeter cannon next to the, what is it, 175 howitzers that we normally get. This is just to get us a little bit extra range so we can pop you in the face. I'll chase you in my scout quad while you planet side. Yeah, that'd be good. Fun idea for for an October event, derelict ship build challenge. Oh, yeah, that would be good. Only problem is I don't have a whole lot of rewards. If I were to do that, if we do a shipbuilding challenge, I want to do like um, card rewards. So like the top three ships that get picked, you guys would be able to the top three ships get a card in whatever area they want. Like it's a PSN card, Xbox Live card, whatever currency is used for Xbox to buy Xbox games, or even a Steam card or a Nintendo Switch card. And that's like, and the tiers are going to be either first place would get like, I want to do like first place would get like a $50 card. Second place will get, I want to say 30, but I can't think of a $10 card. I know Steam sells a $10 card. I know Nintendo sells it. I don't know if PlayStation or Xbox sells a $10 card. I would have to see. I would not care for that. I would just like to build it to have fun. Yeah, but a competition when you guys are fighting for something, here's the thing I've noticed about other people's competitions when there's money on the line, like free games, y'all build some crazy shit. Like the space engineers community when money is on the line. I've seen some build games where money was not on the line, it was just bragging rights, and people build some good stuff. But then when someone goes in there and says, "Hey, we're going to give you money if you make it top place," like all the stops get pulled out. The most complex, retarded builds that would give you the absolute craziest advantage. I'm talking like rapid fire Gatlin assault cannon ship. There's like half the ship is the freaking weapon system. Like y'all start engineering A-10s and frickin' missiles that go at hypersonic speeds. It's absolutely nuts. I don't know what I could do. I'd rather forfeit that just to have fun to build. Yeah, I'm just saying I would like to reward the builders at the very least, give them something to work with. I don't know. I don't know. I may do a thing where it's like $40 for first place, 30 for second, and then 20 for third. If I were to do that, I'll have to see. But yeah, that or I'd have to come up with something a whole lot. I'd come up with something a whole lot better. Or we could just do it for fun the first time around. Just do like bragging rights. Or I could use the ship for something. But yeah, like either a derelict ship or some type of villain ship. That would be a pretty good one too. Because think about doing villain ships. You do like spikes and bladed looking things on it and start slapping some subgrids on there, figuring some things out. That'd be kind of dope. Do them vanilla so that anyone could build one and put it in their system and put it in there and play with it. That'd be a cool way to do it. Agree. I mean, if anything, do a skin. A skin. What do you mean a skin? Yeah, here I am just laying in the bed on my base, and we're just like talking at the moment. I guess I'll go. I don't know what Drew Burton means by skin. I don't know if that's a typo or what. Grexion, I mean, I have built stupid stuff just for fun. Take my small Halo frigates, for example. Oh, yeah, those are awesome. I like those little frigates. Those were pretty cool. Got to, we may just do like a fun build thing for Halloween. I need to do something for Halloween because, dear God, that's going to be an interesting one. I need to do more like event stuff. I think I'll set up for a Star Wars like thing. I'll figure up the ships that we need for the Star Wars thing, label them a certain way, and then start building them up. And then you guys will get to, once we get the destroyer finished, because it's about done. I think I'm gonna finish the destroyer. I do want to redo the nacelles on the destroyer though, because, and this is why, I got to looking at what I based them on, and the shape is just not right. So I think I'm gonna subgrid those onto the ship. The problem is I got to figure out, well, no, I can't subgrid them. I guess I'll leave them the way they are, and we'll go from there. I'm not too satisfied with them, but I'm going to have to figure out a subgrid system for that, where I can use it without having to worry about, so it'll have the curvature. I need to do something cool. I want to build something like the Normandy at some point using the nacelle system, so I can put it in there. I think Drew means that the winner gets a suit or tool / skin as a price. Oh, that's another problem. I don't have a whole lot of skins. Wish I did. Yeah, the problem is also I would go right ahead because I've got enough Steam wallet to buy somebody the frickin' DLC if they want it. Yeah, that stuff. I guess it depends on what kind of suit you want. I'll have to figure that out because I don't think I've ever traded a skin or a tool skin or something online. I'll have to figure out how to. It won't take much. I'll just probably ask one of the guys about it and be like, "Yeah, do y'all ever do that?" And someone has done it, and they'll be like, "Yes, yes, yes, we've done this. Come here, and we will show you the finer actions of trading skins and stuff on Steam." I know it can be done because people do it with what is it? CS:GO. They do it with that all the time because I remember me and Ayo Chris got in there one time. We was talking. We found out that people were selling skins for like making bank on skins. We're like, dude, how bad could CS:GO be? I tried it and I was like, yeah, dude, we're not getting no fucking skins. We're not that good. We're not that good, Chris. We're not that good. Well, Chris is probably better. Chris is like legendary when it comes to FPSs and crap like that. Me, I'm not that good at it. I'm more of the builder guy or grinder guy, and survival is one of the things I love doing. Grexion, by the way, Badger, you wanted to know how to make a thumbnail for workshop creations, right? Yeah, I'll hit you up on that one later. Like I said, shit, it's 12:05 right now. See, this is the problem I have with live streaming is getting off because this is fun. Going in there, talking with you guys, doing stuff, and then while I'm doing a game, the only thing that is better than doing this live stream like this is also having guys in the game with me so that we're all playing together. I tell you what I would love to do, and I wish if anyone can mod games or can have built Space Engineers mods, hit me up because I have wanted to try and do a mod pack and do a game where everyone is basically, or we put Hell Divers and Space Engineers. We have drop pods. Someone's flying Eagle One. We have to get picked up by Pelicans. We build all the stuff. Have the Super Destroyer. And then like Helldivers have to go down and like build defensive positions and stuff like that. So we can just build all the stuff, and while we're doing that, we're being attacked by Terminids the whole time. Just replace the Saberoids with Terminids, and just have a whole lot of fun. I think that would be interesting. Drew Byrne, ChatGTP is your friend for mods? Oh, that'd be interesting. The only thing I need to know how to do is how to can ChatGTP help me with the modeling, or will I have to do that through something like Unreal Engine or something like that? Because I can use Unreal Engine to do that. Swap a model over. I just got to figure out how to do all that other stuff. Yeah, that sounds fun from Renegade Money. Yeah, I thought that'd be interesting. You know, drop a couple dudes out of a super destroyer, or have players drop out of a super destroyer. We just land on the planet. We just have shit tons of freaking Terminids coming at us. We got to like build a defensive position. Just got to figure out how to put it in there. I'm pretty sure at some point we're going to be sitting there and I'm going to go, yes, Arrowhead's going to sue us at some point when they realize when they realize I'm doing selling ad space for this while we're in there playing the whole time. Oh boy, what is it? Clerks 2 or 3, where they have the lightsaber fight and Chris Rock is the director, and they go, "What do you think of this, sir?" And Chris Rock goes, "I think George Lucas going to sue somebody." That's where it would be at. God, that would be one low key kind of terrible, and at the same time, it would also be one of those epic moments where everyone in the space engineers community is like, "Yep, we did that once." We had someone go in there and build a mod and got sued by Arrowhead. Survivor level 5. Look at that. Chat GTP for thumbnail. Oh, okay. I've dabbled, but that sounds more like a scenario than mod. Yeah, it would require one everything that needs to be built. It would require the guns being replaced with the Liberator and a couple of other Liberator weapon systems. New animations so that the Liberator works like it's supposed to, and then new skins for the characters so everybody comes in as a Helldiver, and then reskinning the Saberoids and also getting them having different enemy types that comes in that we would have to deal with like art. We have to deal with the Bile Titans with RPGs, and of course I say that I say that we could also just spawn in like a whole bunch of big robo bugs that come at you, but they wouldn't be near fast enough to catch up. They would not be near fast enough. I don't know. We'll have to do something cool. I would like to do a server too at some point, but I need like I said, I want to do one where members can hop onto a server and it could be like a universe server. But like I said, I'm just spitballing ideas I wish I could do. Honestly, this is a lot of stuff I wish I could do and make happen. So don't get mad at me if a lot of it just doesn't come true. Because I'm like, yeah, this is stuff I want to do, but haven't got the time to do it yet. Scope creep. Yeah, scope creep. Scope creep is a problem. But yeah, I've been messing around with Unreal. I used to. I'll probably try to get back into that at some point if I can get in. I got more videos coming out. I just haven't had a chance to do thumbnails and do all sorts of weird stuff. I do need to do, I will check out ChatGTP for that because I have used ChatGTP for, what have I used it for? I have used ChatGTP to do like story outlines for other stuff I write. I haven't sold anything, but I do writing every so often because, like I said, one of the things I learned when I was younger, the way I kept myself from getting into trouble was making things. I had to make sure whatever I was making. It's kind of there was a guy I knew one time who did English professoring, Mr. Morrison. He's dead. Uh, Died like 2 or 3 years ago. Great dude, taught me a lot about English, how to write and stuff like that in college. And I remember him sitting there saying, he said he noticed I would get in trouble a lot when I was younger, and so he goes, "Do you know how you can get away with robbing a bank?" I said, "How is that?" He goes, "Plan the bank robbery, figure out how you're going to do it." He said, "Then figure out the type of people you would need for each scenario to make it all work. then put all of that in an outline, write it into a book, and turn around and sell it for a couple $1 million. He said because heist books almost always sell. And it wasn't that he was telling me, like do a do a heist book. It was if you're gonna keep yourself out of trouble, try to create something that will keep you out of trouble, and then try to monetize that, which is the cool option that he was doing. He was a great guy. Let's see. Getting a call from Yoda, be like, yeah, fucked up you did. Why did I do that in Jordan Peterson like that? Yeah, fucked up you did. Let me see. Well, the custom gun turrets are possible, and orbital bombs would be interesting. Yeah, that would be from Renegade Bundy. Renegade Bundy again. 50, 500K knob bunker buster. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be fun. Drew Burns, scope creep. Let's see. Grexion. I mean, Badger. I have my drone hover mech that could work as an automaton. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure something out. I want to do, like I said, if I did that, I want to put like some. I'd love to mess with the NPC mod to add something in there that when it would come out, it would go in. The problem is, anytime I've made a drone that skims, used to I can make a drone that skims. I can't make a skimmer drone anymore. I don't know why. It just doesn't operate or do right. Something I'm doing wrong, I think, or the system just won't allow it. And then have a situation where the drones are just coming, do kind of like what Last Stand Gamers does sometimes without the payment, without making people pay. Just be like, yeah, instead of just paying, it's like if you guys want to be a member, you get you get all kinds of stuff that come with it, perks and all that nonsense. And then my wife was the other day, I was telling her about a shirt I was wanting to do, and she goes, "Yeah, you should do that." She said that shirt goes too hard over the OSU nonsense that we're dealing with right now in Helldivers. I don't think I've played Helldivers in 3 days because of this new update on Space Engineers, which tells you where my priorities are at. You know, I Oh yeah, we do hell diving. I will try my best to fight for Super Earth, but then every so often I've got to come back here and make sure infrastructure is working so we all don't die in the field from a lack of ammo. But anyway, I will try to get some stuff done. I may, because I'm still going to start writing that first chapter. I may write up that first chapter just to see what y'all think about it, and I'll put it up on the Discord, and you guys just check it out. That'll be its own little thing in Discord. And as I do the chapters and get them done, you'll just see it'll be like the rough draft version because it'll be rough. Trust me, it'll be very, very rough when I write it. But anyway, be sure to look out for that. And I'm going to bed because it's like 12:15 and I need sleep. Let me see. Renegade Bundy's putting on one more. How to do the orbital barrage. Just drop a platform with parachutes and cover the bottom with interior turrets. Just have a player fly the super destroyer down kind of low, and then have another player just bombard the area with cannons. Not that difficult, because that's what the orbital bombardment is basically. It comes from the super destroyer. I'm talking like we have a little more control over everything and just kind of drop some serious stuff in. But anyway, thank you all for watching, everybody, and just dealing with me talking tonight. Like I said, dealing with some family stuff. Things are starting to calm down, and I'm sitting here doing all this stuff thinking, oh yeah, I've got some ideas that are fixing to come up, and we're fixing to do some cool shit, but I've got to get some time to do it. Anyway, like I said, thank you all for watching. And one more thing, y'all have seen what's happened over the internet. There is a reason. I want to say this before I go. There is a reason I tell all y'all stay safe, stay frosty. Because not unlike the Charlie Kirk situation, I know a lot of y'all have seen that. I'm not asking for comments on it. Um, I'm not saying anything negative about it. I'm saying y'all, I say stay safe, stay frosty a lot of times on this channel because I have been in situations that have been no fault of my own and been in a situation where pretty recently, in the last 2 or 3 years, where it was just like my wife was just sitting there going, why is this happening? you were nowhere near any of the crap that happened. Why is somebody hating on you this much? And yeah, you don't have to be doing anything stupid. You can be doing everything right, and some crazy person will just pick a fight with you. That'll be a story I will do in a video at some point in time, so you guys can just understand. I need to do that in its own video because that's one of those things that, yeah, and that's why I say stay safe, stay frosty, you guys, because uh, keep your head on a swivel, be watching. There are some retarded people out there, and we've seen the results of one of those. Like I said, it only takes one stupid fool to ruin a person's life, and we've seen that happen. And last thing I want is to be getting on here wondering like why I haven't seen one of y'all in a while, and then suddenly find out later some crazy person got the drop on y'all, and something stupid happened. So don't let that happen, you guys. Okay, like I said, just be observant, be watching. Try not to be a hero if you can do it. But anyway, I'll see you guys later. And like I said, stay safe, stay frosty, everyone. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye for now.